everyone and greetings from Australia. My name is Ruth and I am an Australian registered migration agent and a solicitor or a lawyer of the Supreme Court and High Court of Australia. Well, today I would like to share with you information regarding how New Zealanders who live in Australia can become Australian permanent residents or Australian citizens. Now, I note that the information in this video is not to be treated as legal advice, but it will give you vital information concerning your case. Recently, the New Zealand government has raised concerns regarding the deportation and visa cancellation of New Zealanders' visas in Australia on character grounds. There has been a significant increase in New Zealanders being removed from Australia since 2014 following changes in laws. We have also received multiple queries where most of our clients have been living in Australia. So they were born in New Zealand, but they've lived in Australia either most of their life or a significant time of their lives. Their families and friends are here, and some don't even have families or friends back home in New Zealand. So the question is, if you are a New Zealander living in Australia, you may wish to check your visa status. If you are a temporary visa holder, then you may wish to look into Australian permanent residency and thereafter citizenship. In some cases, you may already be an Australian permanent resident by law, and with that, you may wish to consider Australian citizenship. Now, did you know that permanent residency is not actually permanent? I remember I had a client who came to see me. He came to Australia when he was 11, and when he came to see me, he was in his 60s. He has never been back to his home country. He thought he was a citizen, but he wasn't. He was a permanent resident because he's never applied for citizenship. When he came to see me, he actually received a letter from the Department of Immigration at the time, and they asked him to comment on as to why they should not cancel his visa on character grounds. Now, due to confidentiality, we cannot reveal the exact nature of the case, but what we can say is, in terms of character, it was not a grave offense. I mean, there was no jail time. It was a very simple domestic type of matter, which was there was a lot of misunderstanding surrounding that, and that was all sorted out. But anyways, so my client, when he came to see me, he was in his 60s. His family, children, grandchildren, they're all in Australia. And from the age of 11, since he got to Australia, he has never been back to his home country, ever. So the thought of having to be removed from Australia and sent back to your home country is just very, very stressful to him, obviously. So finally we took on the case, and we made arguments on his behalf. We submitted to immigration that, because his family, they're here, his visa shouldn't be cancelled, he's actually a person of good character, etc., etc. And finally, after 6 months, immigration said, yep, we will not cancel your client's visa. But you see, permanent residency can be cancelled. And that's why it is so important for you to really think about citizenship. If you're a New Zealander and you've been living here for, say, 10, 20 years, and you're thinking of retiring here, really, really consider citizenship, okay? So the laws around New Zealanders becoming Australians can be quite complicated and interesting. Well, today I will provide you with an overview of a couple of different options. So first of all, if you have been residing in Australia since before 2001 and remain or maintain residency, then you may already be an Australian permanent resident. And with that, you may then be eligible for Australian citizenship by conferral immediately. If you came to Australia after 2001, but you have lived in Australia before 2016, then you are likely to be holding a subclass 444 temporary visa, temporary New Zealand visa. I've actually got many friends who are from New Zealand, and a lot of my friends don't even know the visa subclass because, you know, it's an automated visa. If so, you may then be eligible to apply for skilled visa under the New Zealand stream if you can show that you've worked for a continuous of 5 years just before you apply and have earned the TSMIT threshold, which at this stage is $53,900 a year. So that's 5 years living in Australia just before you apply and earning $53,900 minimum a year for all the 5 years. If you're unable to meet the above, then you may wish to explore the other types of permanent visas such as family visa, work-sponsored visas, or skilled visas. There are many types of visas that are out there. Now, if you successfully gain permanent residency, then you usually have to wait about 12 months before you can apply for Australian citizenship, and that would be my greatest recommendation. And please note that the information in this video is general information only because your circumstance might be a little bit different from, you know, another's. If you need help, just contact us on the email address below. And we wish you all the very best in your pursuit for Australian permanent residency and or citizenship. Thank you.